So what is a technician and what do we do? We create sound. We sell sound. We are responsible for taking a cacophonous instrument, and it can be a horrible sounding instrument, and creating a gorgeous sound. Everything else is secondary. That's it. My name is Jim Ialeggio from Grand Piano Solutions. We're in Shirley, Massachusetts. And this shop is where I have a small rebuilding business which concentrates on highly worked, really nice musician-grade instruments. I came to this as a second career about 15, maybe 17 years ago, after building in the shop high-end reproduction windows. Yeah, so the way I got into it, the transition from making windows over here and being a musician over here, was that I went to do a recording, piano recording of my own compositions, jazz compositions, and I was so frustrated with the piano in the recording studio that I took the gloves off. I mean, the gloves were off, and I was not going to give up on this baby until I figured out how to create the sound that the pianos I was playing were not giving me. Since I had a long background, my entire working life of understanding materials and material sciences was related to what I was building, when I got into piano work, I immediately realized that some of the materials were just, the traditional materials were crazy. They were just trying to do something that the materials were not capable of doing. And one of my biggest complaints, actually, getting into the work was action centers. These parts, if the Wessell, Untitled, and Gross did nothing else, just the hard bushings, they would have made an amazing contribution. But they did lots of other stuff too. But that first contribution is the biggest kicker for me. Is, as I said before, the pivots, the hard bushings are really excellent evolutionary step. They're wonderful in their consistency and reliability and ease of adjustment. So what do I like? Why do I care about the stability of these parts? Stability has to do, I spend a lot of time creating a tone. If I create that tone based on a friction level in this part, that then changes when you walk in with a cup of coffee, I've just wasted my time. And it's a lot of time that goes into dealing with action centers. I have had no complaints about parts not functioning. And they are performing in the condition that I delivered them in. So they do not degrade as far as I can tell. Cost benefit to using the WNG parts, the price out of the box is very similar to any other parts on the market, but if I am only adjusting the friction levels once, I have saved a huge amount of money. I mean, these are hidden costs that you have to quantify. Well, if you don't do them twice, which you probably will not do in wooden parts, that means your action goes out immediately in a degraded condition. So the costs are upfront seemingly the same, but the actual, total costs, when you combine all of the whole big picture costs of what you have done, including labor and how many times you've done processes, for me is a time savings. So when I sell my jobs, action jobs, I tell them what I can do, and I demonstrate maybe by using, they come and try one of my instruments. But if someone has had an ailing piano that's been driving them nuts for a long period of time, they're cynical. They're not ready to just plunk down 15 grand or whatever it's going to cost because I said it. But after they get delivered, the relief and the surprise that someone is actually telling the truth, that he can really take this piano, which has been a pain to play and a thwarting instrument to play, and have a completely different experience, is very rewarding. And that's what I get very often, and with using these parts, because I can adjust these parts in so many different ways to hit my target and to make my customer happy.